Hello, and welcome to another Quicklooks from the Steam Next Fest. Probably long after, I actually got a chance to play it, but release times are weird. Anyway, don't need to linger on that and the administrative process of trying to run a YouTube channel. Anyway, this is Esoteric Ebb, a game that basically just caught my eye based on one, visual stylings, and two, the fact that it looked kind of like it was more old school in some respects. It's a sort of text-based RPG of sorts from the looks of things, and I'm curious about it. With this kind of thing, it's always a matter of the quality of the writing, really, in a significant way, and so I definitely would want to try out the demo from a... I don't think this studio has much else under its belt, so I'd like to see how they do. So let's get started. Oh, we're right off the bat with a lot of stuff. Okay. Every shepherd knows the song. It's lore. Every lore uses... Oh. Okay, this is a lot to take in right off the bat. Okay, so we're doing character creation. It is not newbie friendly, I would say. I don't think I'm even going to read all this text because it will take me a while. Or I'm not going to read it out loud, I should say. These are the standard stats from D&D. Not unique to D&D, but... let's see. Background focus, punching bag. Oh, and we've got bonus stats from... Okay, interesting. Okay. Do I want to just go with a random build? Just to see what we get? No, because then I'm going to end up... Look at all these odd rolls. Why would I do that for something that's going to be... Okay. And we've got... Oh, and I've got manual choices of proficiencies as well. Okay. Let's go... Oh, it looks like... Oh, here's your pips. Okay, so it does have basically, it's using a point buy system very similar to the... Very similar, if not identical, to the point buy system in D&D. I kind of like the cleric archetype idea. Let's see. Growing up alone, getting into trouble, training with the Earth Guard, devoting your life and becoming a cleric. Was it always supposed to be end in the river? Oh, and we've got pre-builts. That should... I feel like that should be... Oh, okay. This I feel like should be tossed to you up front if you're a new player, if it's your first time playing. I feel like it should offer this to you more explicitly instead of being like a footnote button down here at the bottom, but that's okay. Okay. And then we've got our proficiencies. So I feel like wisdom for one. Let's see. Empower your spells. Religious for... Are we always playing as a cleric? Oh, maybe that's the... Huh. Okay. Why are we getting... Oh, we're getting a +1 from the proficiency. Okay. Maybe we'll do this. Let's see what happens. I really have no idea how, like, The initial signs make it look like it's going to be a lot like D&D. I have no idea if that's going to be the case or not, so maybe we'll just find out. 5 days until the first ever election. An explosion erupts at the heart of the city. No one wants to deal with it, so they send you. A weak cleric among his peers, yet quick and nimble, ready to get the job done. Okay, is that because I... Complete your quest in any order. Is that because I picked low strength? Don't be afraid to make interesting choices, and remember to get a ton of loot. The campaign will take you from level 1 to 6. We'll play for about 5 to 8 sessions. What does that mean? It's been a journey to put this together. I hope you have a good time. Chris. And only 8 strength just to avoid going solo in the dungeon. I mean, I didn't really get a starting framework to know what I was even picking. I thought we were just, I didn't know we were building a specific character type. So, Hello? Hello, Mr. Blob. Jor, truth and nothing else, a voice declares. What is your name? Intelligence DC 8, success, Ragan. Your name is Ragan. Dexterity DC 13, success, Ragan. Is that it? I don't think you're called that very often. Charisma DC 10, success. No, you are not. Which is quite embarrassing when you think about it. Huh. Okay, so we're not making choices based on our stats like a lot of other games. We are setting it up based on this. This is also immediately making me think of a game that I've been meaning to play but haven't played yet, which is oh, that's embarrassing. I can't remember what it's called. Hold on. Because another one of the same developer that made that game, the one I can't name, is also maker of one of the other demos that I'm going to be showing you at some point. Hold on. It's gonna drive me nuts if I don't look it up. Hold on. Disco Elysium, that's it. So it's giving me shades of that. A game that looks fascinating and I have not gotten to play yet. Ragan. Intelligence, correct. Is this actually speaking back to me in the same way that like Disco Elysium's whole hook is that like you sort of have an internal monologue and like conflicting mental things going on in your own head, so you're not totally in, you're kind of psychotic in the most like clinical way. Okay, why is it correct? Who's saying correct? Jor, your answer, another question from the darkness. What is your occupation? Oh, you answer. Another question from the dark. Is Jor is this the narrator? Why does this have a name? Okay. Constitution DC 11, success. You are dead. Dexterity DC 8, success. Dead, how can you be dead? You're thinking, aren't you? Constitution, dead does not mean gone. What are you, a fucking poet? Look around. Wisdom DC 13, success. Your senses reach out into the void, a glimmer dangling far away. What's an occupation in this context? Wisdom DC 12, success. Work, getting paid for labor. Dexterity DC 12, success. This is for sure about your job. You know, the job. DC 6, success. Constitution, your class. Tell the voice about your class. Class, what class am I? Constitution DC 10, success. Lower class. Wisdom DC 13, success. You are a city cleric, nothing more. Dexterity DC 12 success. You're a high-class scoundrel, the best of the best. Okay. Right off the bat, if you weren't already familiar with what all this text meant, if you're not already familiar with D&D or a very similar system, this is going to be very difficult to digest. Especially because the way these things are laid out is... Oh, that's interesting. I assume that was a deliberate part of the music, but... basically, if you had no prior RPG experience, I think all you would get out of this, especially after... You'd probably have to spend a lot of time in that opening character creator, trying to figure out what made what. The fact that I didn't know what kind of character I was making, that like I was given no initial they should have given me the setup for the story before I made my character, frankly. So if you went through all that, then you'd still only know that like all of these are different stats you have. You don't know what a DC is. And frankly, I don't know if I don't see rolling. So if it's just saying, I don't know if I can even fail these, but I've had nothing but successes thus far. It's an awkward setup. And if you were not already like in the mindset and the knowledge area to know what was kind of happening here, this could be pretty alienating. Though stylistically, I like it. You're a high-class scoundrel, the best of the best. I'm a sneaky little rogue. A dashing one at that. Wait, what was that? That only popped up for a second. Why did that... Can I see that again? Okay, I didn't get a chance to even look at that. Takes a while before the next question is posed. What is your current goal? Dexterity DC 13 success. Goal, what would be nice to get out of this dark pit for one. Wisdom DC 10 success. We need to find out who blew up the tea shop. Constitution, the goblin chieftain. She needs you. A tea shop exploded? Unfortunately, yes. This is a little bit of fun. That's not good. I like tea shops. They are lovely, yes. You may ruminate further on tea shops at a later date. There's a question to be answered. Your goal. Why all these questions? Ah, there's our first failure. Charisma DC 13 failure. No clue, but you should keep him talking. It's been silent here for far too long. To get out of the darkness. So I'm guessing that maybe... I don't know if these would be my only choices, or if I had different stats, these two might be replaced with different options. To get out of the darkness. Dexterity, keep looking for a way out. No reply, no feedback. Then the voice asks, what's your political affiliation? Oh. The question strikes your entire consciousness, sending it spinning. Success. If you care for... Wisdom DC 11 success. If you care for your fellow, vote for the Asgalists. No way, those dwarves want to take everything from you, which isn't much, but still. DC 11 success. We've moved beyond the bounds of dictators. We are free to make our own choices thanks to the revolutionary free striders. Elections are... DC 14 failure, exhausting. Strength DC 11 failure. It hides in the back of your skull a fact that you are bound to be a nationalist. And it frightens you, the pressure. I don't know any of these words. Don't worry, it doesn't matter. Just say whatever you think will be the most useful to you. Which is, just say you're apolitical. I feel like that's either the wrong choice or the boring choice. But I don't know anything about the setting, so it's like, I don't know. Stay silent. Silence is golden when it comes to politics, at least. The voice is fading. This is the end. The final question. How did you die? Drowning in the river. Same way you lived, unable to step out of the uniform, not for 1 second. Now's your chance. Break free. I don't know what any of these mean. I am not dead. That's a cool effect. I like that. I actually thought this was all 2D stuff, so the fact that that looks like 3D models is interesting. Man, even turned all the way down, it's pretty loud. But what a great vibe. Maybe it's all 3D models and it's just really stylized art. Maybe I was completely wrong. All I saw was a handful of screenshots, so didn't have much to go off of. What the hell kind of stockroom is this? Is this how you store your apples? Well, I don't have a prompt. I don't want to click just in case something's going to happen. Well, no noise and nothing. Okay. That's fun. What a good effect. A fresh start. Get up. Wisdom DC 13 success. Your heartbeat is loud, screaming. Your body aches. It's stiff as if you've slept for days. DC 12 success. Don't sleep in the armor, dumbass. That is a rule that people forget a lot in D&D, and often for good reason. But you're technically not supposed to do rests of any kind, especially long rests while armored. And there are don and doff times for your equipment. So, I mean, everybody just ignores it and pretends like they wear their armor all the time. And very rarely do I ever see a DM actually make note of it or require people to use that mechanic. But it is there. Don't sleep in the armor, dumbass. Ready for the quest to continue. DC 10 failure. Look around. A circular stone chamber, a storage for apples and corpses. Those are not two things I would store together, honestly. Intelligence DC 7 success. There's piles of apples. Is this Tolstad? Oh, that I can highlight that. Oh, okay. All right, that could use a little bit more direct signposting instead of me seeing the colored text and wondering if I can click on it. But that let me make a check. That's fun. Okay. Tolstad, a sprawling island fortress and one of 5 districts in the city. It sits in the middle of River Torna, home of Jor's Pillars, a sprawling tunnel network, and Water Lane, the greatest trade hub in Ascani. You are on Tolstad right now. All right, that was a lot of detail that didn't really actually tell me much about the world, but okay. DC 14 success. I see apples and corpses. Get the fuck out of here now. Check your stuff. What stuff? Your hands dart around your pouch and uniform. 15 failure, panic, sweat. No spellbook, no mace. Face it, you've been robbed. Con 18 failure, your legs shake. Tears begin to form. Deep breaths, your belongings are surely here somewhere. Wait, what's this about a quest? +1 hit points. Interesting. Earth be blessed. DC 1. Earth, your god. Do I remember everything? Yes. Everything is off, but your memory is intact. Your thoughts are scattered, but your mind is fine. Your quest was given yesterday, remember? The tea shop? The tea shop. Yeah, the tea shop that blew up. Just a job? Ah, so I've done this before. Gained experience. Interesting. Well, maybe not this particular type of job. Your previous experience lies more in some basic Earthguard militia service as well as a few years at the towers. DC 6. The tower is the home base of the Order of Arcane Clerics of Norvik, also known as the OACN. Cleric, a servant of a god deeply devoted and spiritually connected, typically a divine spellcaster given power through their deity. All right. You know, I feel like this whole waking up scene could happen before I pick stats, or even that the character building could happen as part of this initial dialogue, because it's clearly combining the whole like waking up process with the player introduction to the world. And so letting you get a feel for what you're up against and then letting you decide what kind of abilities and, what kind of things you favor in terms of how you interact with the world, that would probably be more approachable from like making an informed decision standpoint. A quest, I like those. Good attitude. There's always more around the corner, so look out. Don't want to miss any. Wait, how much time do I have? Election week added until the election. Okay, this needs to stop popping up things on the side that I don't know how to access. Not in there. I don't want to just press a bunch. Why did it move on when I pressed Q? Hold on. I did want to note that I appreciated the accessibility settings here. I didn't actually have to change any of them. It did a nice job of scaling to my monitor. But that's really it, huh? No controls settings, no controls reference. I don't know how to look at whatever that was, but okay, I'm just going to have to assume it doesn't matter right now. Divine, one of the 3 pillars of magic. It is represented by the sacred, the faith of all folk, their souls, and is granted by gods who once walked among us. The election, which is in 6 days. Didn't we already succeed at... Okay. No, it's not. What the hell? It's in 5 days. Depends on your definitions. Definitions of what? Time? Time only advances when you make new choices and dialogues. Okay. Interesting. And this is interesting because we're finally starting to see the banter between the stats. So I believe this is fairly, again, I've tried to keep very far away from Disco Elysium, knowing anything about it. I saw little bits and pieces and the concept seemed awesome, and I've heard a lot of people say generally good things about it. I believe this is a similar sort of concept to how that game's stuff operates, and this is an interesting twist on the D&D stats concept, reinventing the stats as not just, numbers on how you operate and how well you do things, but more as conflicting concepts of how to approach the world. Okay, so to be clear, I need to figure out who blew up some random tea shop, more or less. But you've got like 5 days to do it, so no stress. There's that feeling again. The feeling that you're about to enter a path from which there is no way back. Can I think about this first? Time is limited. It's just a lot to... Oh. You feel dizzy. The weight of the Earth Guard uniform. A dull pain takes hold. DC 14 failure. Your body aches. Its contents rotting. Okay. Oh, so this bar is my health bar. That I saw this, but this I thought was part of the scroll bar, which is right here. That's a little awkward, but okay. You must consume an apple now. If your stats are high or low enough, chimes will appear in your mind. They will suggest, inform, and offer unique paths. Trust them at your own risk. I'm so very confused. Just go to work, you know. Get shit done. One step at a time. Behold and trifle. Well, let me trifle with an apple. Oh, now we have UI over here. Okay. How do I... No. That's... Well, clicking on it doesn't do anything, and right-clicking on it consume... Okay, this... I don't know about this UI. It looks pretty. It's not very intuitive. Everything's a very weird... It's an aesthetically pleasing layout. It's not a very logical one. Okay. Again, all of this could really use some more explanation. I just happened to right-click to try and eat the apple, and therefore I know that right-click dismisses me out of this menu. But otherwise, you're just gonna be clicking on stuff like what's going on. Also, I don't know what any of these other buttons are. I mean, I'm gonna intuit that these are pieces of equipment and inventory, like accessory slots and stuff, but yeah. Deep storage. What is that? You didn't explain that. Questing tree. Okay, there's a lot to absorb here. The tea shop that blew up. Your purpose in Tolstad is to investigate an exploded tea shop. Locate this establishment and gain entry. Election week. The first ever election in Norvikian history will take place in just a few days' time. What will you vote for? Class conflict. You have made it clear one single time now. You're a dick-ass rogue, and nobody can stop you from being the coolest sneaker in on Tolstad. So is cleric not my class, but rather my my job? I see these bars here too. I don't know what those are going to lead me to. Okay. Prepared spell 0. I guess I have to... Nope, that's okay. So I guess until... Presuming it works on a D&D type system, I won't be able to have any spells until my next rest? I don't know. Alright, let's see. This isn't yours, is it? The cloak is sprawled upon the iron slab. As you grab it, you immediately feel the dampness spreading in your gloves. Oh. It is light blue and tattered, and it was once yours. Please don't. This thing is disgusting. Wring out the water. The filthy liquid falls onto the floor of the stony chamber. It smells of salt water. It is still quite wet. Weigh it in your hands. It is heavy. Should I wear this? No. Of course you should wear it. A hood is the perfect tool for any decent rogue and or ne'er-do-well. So what if it's a little damp? You have to wear it. I'll think about it. You reach for your fancy red pouch of holding. The cloak easily slips inside to the extra dimensional space with a satisfying slurp. I really love my pouch of holding. Gained experience 5 XP. Yes, you are very lucky. It's not yours though, it's the city's. You can't you can't just use it for anything. Shut up, it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. Now go put on your cloak and rob some people. Reallocate some resources. Equipping items temporarily alters your ability scores. Okay. Dexterity, +1 dexterity, -1 charisma. Practically your face, do not take it off. Okay. A divine shrine covered in apples. Divine scripture where it does not belong. Oh, there's some weird layering stuff with interacting with things. Also, this minimalist UI is, I enjoy it aesthetically, but like when you have things like this, where there's a pop-up over another thing, and it has no border or anything, that ends up becoming a problem. Memorized Shield of Faith. Okay. Shimmering field appears and surrounds you, protecting you from damage for the duration. Any loss of hit points is reduced by 1. 1d8 plus wisdom. No effect on undead or constructs. Okay. I can't take more apples. I can talk to apples, though. Central apple pile. You stare at the pile of apples. Apples are good for you. Whose apples are these? Not yours. Maybe they're grown somewhere around here or below. From the ground or from trees. Should these be stored alongside corpses? No, it's a health hazard. Of course not, it's nasty. Something tells you that no, they should not. Could I eat my way through this pile of apples? You can certainly try. You're not capable of carrying such a tremendous burden. It would be greatly beneficial. And to waste your time here. At the very least, don't eat the less fresh ones. Ability checks. Roll a d20 with your modifier to get a unique outcome. The DC... This is way too late to be explaining what a DC is. The DC difficulty class is often impacted by your choices, big or small. Remove the bad apples first. You hand swipe over the surface of apples, carefully plucking any with signs of spoilage. I mean, what could go wrong? You look upon this challenge with fear in your stomach. This will be your end. Dig in. Digging in, the first apple goes down the hatch. Going smooth so far, maybe this will be easy. Oh, I don't have the option to stop. Another one pressed on. Number 2 goes well at first, then you feel something rumbling. Oh no. Oh. Maybe I should stop. A weak choice, but understandable. You want more apples. But maybe not the spoiled ones. Even the apple boy couldn't handle all that oozing stuff, huh? Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of something light and hard hitting the ground. A small sharp rock. A shiny stone? That's decent loot. Take it. This must have fallen into the pile of apples at some point. It is a highly esoteric object. Esoteric, the magic of Jor and his strings. The coast is infused with it. Jor, the name of our realm. Also the name of the legendary wizard who created it. He died during the closing at the end of the Gate era. Wizard, a book-learned arcane spellcaster, typically plays your strings by memorizing and executing esoteric rituals and chants. Arcane, one of 3 pillars of magic. It is represented by the forces that make up all esoteric events. Those who play Jor's strings tap into these powers, programming the laws of the existence around their whims. Jor's strings, the ley lines of esoteric power that holds the realm together. Pick up the strange rock. As you weigh it in your hand, a tingle shoots up your arm. Esoteric, a shard. It is connected with a string. These rare shards of Jor can be consumed to unlock failed ability checks. Okay, so it's like an inspiration point. Normally checks are only unlocked upon the completion of a short or long rest. I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand that. That's a lot of apple. Ignore the thought. Leave the pile. Voting card. -1 intelligence. Why does this get me -1 intelligence? A scuffed voting card made out to Ragnar Hemlin. It's from a dwarven office for some reason, and someone has checked in all 5 parties on the list. You need to bring this to a polling place on election day if your voice is to be heard. Okay. You pick up the surprisingly thick piece of paper with a shaking hand. The card is slightly torn and has clearly been drenched at some point. At the top it says Rostcourt in big bold lettering. Rostcourt, it means voting card in fancy Ascani Dwarven. The Ascan, one of 8 bands along the coast. It is a cold mountainous realm. It is your home, also referred to as Ascani interchangeably. Okay, this is getting... you know me. I love lore and world building. This is too much all at once, delivered in a way that is not very approachable. I get what they're going for. It is, and maybe it may depend on the person how they feel about this. But my feeling is that this is a very unintuitive way to process the information about the world. A flowchart of terms that lead into each other is not a very intuitive way of building a world out from scratch. I would rather be told a story about the world that we're in, or have memories about it. Again, I think it's a deliberate storytelling choice, given the fact that we're supposed to be sort of amnesiac type of thing going on. At least, you know, memory loss, brain damage, whatever, from getting blown up and chucked in... Well, I was going to say a river, and it did say a river, but they also said that there was salt water, so now I'm a little confused. 5 days remaining. How does this thing work? After you pick up at a district office, you only need to check the box of one of the 5 parties. Then you deliver it on election day to polling place, although in your case you'd need to write the name of the party you want in the corner along with a signature, since you filled out every box like an idiot. This is your one vote. You should indeed take care of it. If you really believe in democracy, you should make sure not to lose it. Look at the list of parties. Nationalist Party of Narvik. Party of North, Inheritors of Earth's Will, theocratic organization founded to uphold the old ways, headed by magistrates and 20-something noble families. Freestrider, Revolutionary Party. Freestrider, The New Way. People in the East have overthrown the old wizards and gods. For years, the revolution has slowly creeped into the city. Now it's time to finally join the Free Cities and get rich. Free Cities, a collection of city-states and reeds. Oh, God. This is a lot to absorb in this way. All united under the golden banner of Freestriderism. Norvik will join them one way or another. I'm not even sure any of this even matters, right? Like, yes, it matters for flavor, but there's no indicator of like how, when, or why, if, when, how, why any of this will be relevant to any choices I make in the future. I'm not loving this. Reads The Leftovers. The city of the Coast War, which ripped the entire band apart. Today, it's a shining beacon of everything modern, pretty, and new, and so on. Coast War, the Great War, a conflict between the Arcanists of Reeds as well as every other nation connected with them across the coast. A horrible waste of human lives, including lives of honor in this fighting that you know. I've lost track of all of this. Century spanning, claim more than half the entire human population. Oh my God, this is so much. This is officially way too much content to. Oh, and because I did this out of order and I had to scroll back, it's now moved on without me. So I have to keep scrolling these back. The workers who built the city want to rule. It seems only just their vision of fair and even society where those who live underneath try to show the worth. Why can't we all share? Agrarian, those who live off the earth. Simple farmers, people of the land, the common clay of Ascani fields. Their political movement has most been swallowed by the Asgalists. Arcanist Party of Magic. And finally, last box didn't say anything. This is where you can input whatever you want or just leave it empty for a null vote. Are these all the parties? Yes, all of them, at least that you know of. It was nice that right there's an election. It was nice not to think about it for once. You've prepared all your life for this. It's time for change, baby. You've never had one of those before. Neat. Very neat. Finally, your voice will be heard. Good to know. Leave. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, I haven't left this room. This is all. There's. Oh man, there's so much. Here's the thing. Like, I don't have any idea how expansive this game is going to be, or even this demo. For all I know, the entire game could be like 3 rooms, or it could be hundreds of rooms. But each interaction I have has engaged me with so much stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Corpse under a blanket. You stare at a blue rag draped over the outline of someone. Check under the rag. Underneath you find the cold corpse of a human. Thinning blonde hair, unkempt facial hair. You're teaching me about DC again? If you select a dice choice, you then roll a 20-sided die. If you get the same or higher than the DC, you succeed on that roll. I'm good with corpses, right? What do you mean? Like, I've been trained to handle them, right? You know exactly what you're doing. Formal training is for people without true talent. Got it. I'm a master of corpse craft. Examine him closer. I get a -2 on the DC because of my belief in my non-existent abilities. That's kind of fun. Hell yeah. I'm the best at corpses. There's something strange here. This is no regular gentle repose. Look close, but do not move the corpse. Harsh scars cover the skin. Signs of being either a hard worker or a careless worker litter his skin. Cause of death appears to be not directly visible. No blunt trauma either. Considering his age and the shape of his body, this man most likely died of common disease or internal failure. That's pretty broad and vague. Unless you're willing to start cutting, that's all you get. Except, what? There's also a marking on the right leg, a circle with a cross inside it. 300 pieces added. You recall that is the marking of PR, potential revivification. Oh, right. This guy can be revived? Seems so. He most likely died during care and was granted immediate gentle repose. However, he clearly did not have an RF, a revive fund, nor did he have family members with enough ready cash. Or perhaps he was just an unlikable fellow. Who knows? Fair enough. Okay, so again, information you would only have if you played D&D before. So Gentle Repose, it's interesting, you can't click on those. Gentle Repose is a spell that you can cast that I believe for 24 hours prevents any decay of a dead body. This is generally to well, there's a bunch of uses for it, but one of them is just so that if somebody needs to be revived, if you intend to revive somebody, that it doesn't become harder to do, basically. But yeah, that's not explained at all. All the minutia of funding of healthcare apparently is, but not what that actually means. So Gentle Repose keeps a corpse from actively decaying. Revivification is the process of bringing somebody back from recently dead. So I could cast Revivify on this guy. Potentially, yes. It's okay to loot him, right? Yeah, why not? If you can suffer the loss of moral integrity is a dead guy. He's not going to need his stuff, obviously. Not like the guy will complain, but don't go around talking about it too loud, okay? Who was this guy? His hands are calloused. He's built like a sarcophagus. Just a man, a dead man. Why is he here? This is a morgue, a lich house, clearly. Corpses are kept on cooling in places like this before cremation or burials. The apples make it hard to believe, but yeah. Must have been one hell of a deal to put those two together. So why cast Gentle, unless I'm wrong and unless the world is different, which obviously this is not the D&D world exactly, but why cast Gentle Repose on a corpse that you intend to just literally leave on a cold stone later? I should stop bothering the corpse now. Okay, let's go talk to... Oh. Cost quite a bit of money to bring him back, almost a month's rent. Okay. Let's go talk to this guy. What's this about? A guy. He looks indecisive. You approach a shambling man by the apple pile. He does not acknowledge your presence. He is unaware of you. Is this actually a zombie or is this a trick? Just stare at him. Glancing under his hood, you catch a blank expression spread upon a dried face. Poke him. The man does not appear to react in any way to being poked. His glassy dark eyes just stare forward into nothing. Wait, is this a zombie? Yeah, let's ask him. I found this voting card over there. Is it yours? The zombie does not even grunt in your direction. He just keeps working slowly. You grip the voting card firmly in your gloved hand. It is indeed yours. Keep it safe. We need to establish an Asgalist government. It's the only way for us average peasants to not fall back into the oppression of feudalism, or worse, mediocrity. Okay, so that updated somehow. A government with heart. The zombie just keeps moving apples. A true working-class revolution is clearly needed. Cooperative ownership of the guilds is the first step, just like Earth established Novokian collectivized agriculture. The fleshy ball plank does not reply or counter your words. Am I boring you? The zombie carefully places another apple at the top of the pile. He does not have an opinion of any kind. What's he doing? The zombie is attempting to clear a path through the apple pile. He's probably been at it for a long time. Hard worker, respect. Should I defeat this zombie? That'd be pretty scary. Sir, are you a member of the undead? Okay, I'm not going to attack him. But I also can't get past him. This guy, he just won't move. Well, let's see. The runes fill your senses as you approach. The color is faded. The monument is hollow, void of life and all divinity, and worse, is covered in rotten apples. A sacred shrine left in this state, and it's an insult to Earth and all of his people. Indeed. Yet you are very much aware that this is not the worst you'll see. You'll have to fight hard to keep Earth's dream afloat. The city is lost, but it is not yet lost. How poetic. You're also aware this city is very much in need of change. Change from what? An honorable lifestyle? A peaceful city for humans to prosper in? Change from stagnation and a mire of decay. Earth's crusade brought triumph. The corruption brought after his fall is due to exactly that kind of filthy rhetoric. You're certainly allowed to be wrong in your opinion there. Remove the apples. It's not take long for you to remove some of the nasty apples away from the front of the shrine. A small improvement, but big in the heart. Are these rare? No, you will find these shrines like this all over Norvik. Can I pray here? To what exactly? To Earth, of course. There are many gods listening to our prayers always. Just remember that they might not respond so clearly. I'll think about it. There's an internal element to it that is underappreciated. Kneel. The shrine towers over you. You feel small. To cast spells, you must first prepare them at shrines. Okay. Prepared spells can be cast when the cleric has reason to do so, either in or out of dialogues. Each cast expends one spell slot of the corresponding level. What other guards are there? Many you know a few. Earth. Asgal. Tokig. Silly Goblin Myth. Praying to Tokig would, if you for some reason would get a response, only result in the exact opposite of whatever you wanted. Lady Fair and Those Not is the founding myth of the Fordnip Commonwealth. A young halfling blessed with the strength of an army. The halfling deity of Azcan, but she only had the divine spark a few days before being slain. It said she led 5,000 halflings to the snowy hills filled with foul foes. Never once were they spotted. Not familiar with the Fordnip's goddess, nor how to pray to her. Wait, can't I heal here through divine assurance or something? Not precisely. The gods do not usually grant divine interventions for minor injuries. Okay. Staring at the chiseled monument, you focus your mind. You take a deep breath and begin your prayer. And tranquility. Contemplate the tea shop. You let your mind go through the basics of what you know. The tea shop was destroyed in the middle of the day. Minor injuries were reported. Your goal is to enter the tea shop and investigate it properly. Can I return here when I have more things to think about? Always. Talking to yourself, huh? You must be a lonely guy. Hey, you guys all started it. Okay, so that lets me sort of assess where I am in the story. Pair spells. Oh, this is a lot of text. Okay. Okay, that's a lot of text. It does sort of explain, but it doesn't... Can I mean, okay. Spell slots versus spell... It's always been a problem with how D&D talks about spells, because the different caster classes operate differently, but they still use a spell slot or a spell slot system, which is not actually a reference to the spells you can cast, but the amount of casts you can make of spells. I have never particularly liked the system. I generally prefer the spell point system, homebrew style, or you know, other options that make it more flexible and easier to approach. Okay, so I can just walk out this way. Why is this apple different? Well, okay. Wisdom tooth, pickpocket item, DC 15 dexterity check. How am I going to pickpocket I'm hoping it's in his actual pocket and not his mouth. Should I attack the zombie? I mean, I kind of want to get over there. There's a sword. Yes, deal with this foul creature. Encounters are turn-based conflicts where each participant takes turn rolling dice and taking actions. During your turn, you are able to perform one dice action as well as cast one spell of your choosing. The order is determined by an initiative roll. Roll initiative. Alright, pretty good. Fight. You're quick, you got this. Show him no mercy. Huh, okay. Some interesting choices here. Hold up a closed fist and say, "Here, look at this," then quickly try and trip him. Your sneaky maneuver works. A zombie turns his gaze towards your fist, and then, with a quick whack, you get him to stumble backwards. There you go. The slow zombie just stands there. No, he's reacting. It's just taking some time. The zombie is hostile. This undead abomination must be apprehended before he causes damage to innocents. Does that include you? Grab him. Try to get his arm. You successfully... Oh, why did it not auto-scroll that? You successfully grab his arms. Your thick gloved hands wrap around his frail wrists and keep them stable. He's not getting away now. His neck snaps around, the withered face now facing yours. Yeah, you've really pissed him off. You can tell since you're such a people person. The zombie bites down on you hard. Oh my god, okay. It hurts even through the armor. This ends now. Your final chance, do not falter. Finish this with a sucker punch. Did I get advantage there? Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Knock him out. Knock. A second level transmutation unlocks things. The definition of locked has been stretched over the centuries, but the spell works on most containers or entryways. I have to assume that's intentional as a joke, right? But that is also deeply confusing for somebody who doesn't know what they're already looking at, because yes, knock is a spell, But that's not... This is a joke about the spell knock that has nothing to do with the act of knocking someone out. Although if you cast knock on somebody's head, that would probably be bad for them. Catching your breath, you stare at the now unmoving creature. Just as dispensed. Now go loot him. Get that fancy tooth. Auto-saving, huh? Interesting. Nice. More apples. Imported goods. The receiver is marked as HWBT. An almost empty box except for a stale treat in a pouch. Crate filled with sand. A slightly broken standard issue Earthguard blade. You approach the crate full of sand. They've imported sand to Norvik? For what? Glass blowing? Inspect the crate. You notice a little marking on the back with the letters HBWT. The lid has been tossed behind it. Look at the sand. The crate is filled to the brim. It's just sand. Well, maybe something was smuggled in it. Why would they crack open the crate like this? Touch the sand. Your gloved hand trails across the surface. The sand shifts slightly at your touch. What? Is it growing? Underlying choices are more risky, but it might offer more reward. Okay. You dive in with your whole hand, fingers first. This one does not. Crate of sand. Then you feel a tug, a grip, and finally a pull. Wait, Your shoulder is almost pulled out of its socket. Struggle. You manage to keep from engulfing most of your arm, but in the process, the sand grabs onto the front of your helmet. Your face is now sinking. A sizzling groan fills your ears. Fight it. You grab the rim of the crate with both hands, but as you pull your entire adrenaline-filled arms to work, you feel energy being sapped from your veins. You're being sucked. Oh, I am taking death saving throws. That's interesting. Wow. Okay, that just happened. That happened with no explanation. If you didn't know what death saving throws were, that would be incredibly confusing. Also, it passes really quick. You'll be sucked out of your skin. As you keep pushing, you realize you could get out at this point. However, then you would have to leave the helm behind. Do I really need to keep the helmet on? Yes, you do. Try and keep the helmet on. Your muscles turn to mush as you stop your struggle. What's going on? Struggle to breathe. The sand is trying to eat you. Alright, escape without losing your helmet. You grab the rim of the crate with both hands, but as you put your entire adrenaline-filled arms to work, you feel energy being sapped from your veins. Oh, so I just keep having to try it. Alright. Avoided exhaustion. So I get to keep trying as long as I don't die. Grab the rim of the crate with both hands. That's a crazy amount of damage to be taking, though. I will not die in this crate. Full of the pure fires of adrenaline, your muscles creak and your bones crack, and it pays off. Within seconds, the rock-hard grip of the sand loosens. Then it drops entirely. You swing your head back, filling your lungs with air as a trail of sand follows you. Gained experience. Within an instant, the sand snaps back into the crate, not a single grain dropping to the floor. You stumble back. Glancing over to the crate, you see its contents now lie still like nothing happened. You should put on the lid to make sure this does not happen to someone else. Am I alive? Yes. Shake your head to get rid of the sand in your ears. It helps. Oh, nice. Okay. A lot. Carefully put on the lid. You take a very, very careful step towards the crate to grab the lid. Then you place it gently on top. Your job here is done. I've done a great service to the community. Okay. So, I'm curious what this prompt is now. Spiral staircase, ancient architecture. You may not de-equip your helmet. You may... Oh. This is a whole thing. Okay. See, I didn't try that because I figured it was either not going to work or going to be a bad way, but that looks like a good way. So where does this one go now? Oh, there's multiple... Huh, the door in this tunnel won't open. A glow glass, very common magic item. Oh, this goes down. City below the city. Great look. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do, but sure. Probably shouldn't... Oh, God. That genuinely scared me with the pop-up and the noise. Taking a step forward, you touch a thin cord. Something soft latches around your ankle. A contraption is now in motion. What is that, a snake or something? A trap. Avoid the trap. You throw your body back, slithering out of the rope before it tightens. The instant you do, you watch the rope snap and twirl around the edge of the staircase, disappearing into the darkness below. Whoa, close one. Sure was, but it's fine. You made it. Keep an eye out for more of these. I don't know if I should keep going. But I'm going to. What's this thing? You look up at the pillar. Esoteric Ebb added. The relic rises upward, endlessly upward. The central landmark of Norvik, the symbol of Earth's conquest. The day he took the red rocks and slayed the Troll King, he looked upon this pillar and declared the sacred spot for all Norvikians, for all Earthfolk. Earthfolk, the people of Earth, the ancestors of those who reconquered the Ascani coast, true mythological heroes. Rock, a giant bird. That's also not... So is this just deliberately giving me misinformation to waste my time? Because, like, every time it said every time I have a conversation, it consumes time, right? Has nothing to do with rocks. It was here before Earth and will be here after you, remaining until the end. Gate to another time. Looks a bit broken, cracked. Yes. Certain is indestructible, but clearly it was once not. Several pieces of the pillar float around in the air, especially as it reaches upward into the clouds above the city. Sad to see it in this state. It has been this way forever. How many of these pillars exist? 8? Something like that. 1 for each band. But ours is the best one, right? They're all equally useless. It's a sign of Earth's power, so yes, this is the best one. They're seen as status symbols by many, like a legitimization thing. But the fact is, no one has managed to make use of them in any way, despite their esoteric nature. So the Pillars of Jor are relegated to being visual landmarks seen from across the coast through clouds and mist for miles. Esoteric should really be uppercase, because they are using, because it's a normal word, but they are using it in context to mean something else. So they should really make it uppercase so it's like sort of a proper noun. Or it's not a noun though. It's still being used as an adjective of sorts, but in a very different sort of way. Can I make money off this thing? No way. They don't even take admission to see it since it's such a trivial sight. It's a bit of a tourist destination supposedly, but most people who travel the coast have seen one before. So it's not that interesting. So what do I do with it? You can always attempt to focus on it, learn from this ancient relic. Since you're the master of all esoteric things, you could probably crack the secret of the pillar, learn how it works and master it, and gain ultimate power, and so on. I love that because my intelligence is low, I keep getting made fun of. As you get closer, as you do, you feel the air itself tingle. Power. He's speaking to you. Touch the pillar. Touch the cold pillar. You place your hand on the cold surface. Your body quakes, standing in awe of this ancient object. How many battles do you think it has seen? How many deaths? How many noble sacrifices given to one's god or king or people? You do not know, and that frightens you. I'm not trying to do a DC 15 strength. Okay. You approach the firmly shut doors. They appear to be not open. The legendary horrifying OWD. These are all over any proper dungeon. Dungeon? Have you looked around? Well, legendary? Truly horrifying? Yeah. In a figurative sense, logistically maybe. Should be. OWD? The one and only one-way door. They keep popping up all over the place underneath Norvik. Sometimes upstairs too, but that's rarer. So I'll need to find the other side in order to open it? That's the logic here, yes. Right, well, we'll have to keep an eye out. I didn't even realize if I right-clicked that would happen. Oh, there's a mouse. A rat. It's not really running from you. It's just T-posing. I mean, if I can just pick it up. That's awesome. It's just... I just got a little guy. A white rat. It acts shyly but approaches you nonetheless. It looks like it doesn't really want to get grabbed by you, but it also doesn't fight it. Instead, it just follows along, sort of not very happy with the situation, but what can you do? Okay. That looks... I don't think I should be in the dungeon. It did warn me about being strength 8 in the dungeon. Okay. How long have this has gone on a bit. I want to find a good place to cut this. I don't think I'm going to do a whole extended play of the demo unless I put up the first one and people really want it. But this is weird this is a new era for demos, right? Like demos back in the day used to only mean like somewhere around 30 minutes of content. Clearly that's not the case here. Not a case with a lot of demos these days. But we went from plentiful demos with like time-limited chunks of the game to almost no demos for years. Years and years demos just basically didn't exist. And now we're back to having demos, which is I've always been an advocate of, but it's interesting. It's interesting how they've changed. That was way too fast for me to possibly read that. Good morning, cleric. Oh. You're just not even surprised, huh? Despite me going in dead? That's just like a little lizard folk kobold guy sitting with a crossbow, loaded, strung crossbow, aimed kind of right at my head. Pocket watch. Yours? Esoteric pocket watch. Advantage in esoteric events. Filed tooth in decent condition. You feel a tingle in your palm when you hold it. Okay. Well, time to talk, I guess. Viskin, local mortician. That's all in runes I can't read. Intelligence, behold. Is this a roll? Oh, it looks like how much information I get is based on various DCs. I got fuck all. And I can't retry it. Interesting. Okay. Viskin, local mortician. The pale man sits hunched over a stack of forms. Busy at work, his pencil slowly filing out line after line. On the top paper, you see an icon of a serpentine drake. That symbol, it's on a lot of official documents of the city. That is the Great Perch of Norvik. Great Perch, the drake-like sea creature, was found along River Torna. Earth was known to tame these creatures, and eventually the Great Perch became the symbol of his great city. Up and about, are we? Wonderful. Death. This is death. I am Viskin, local entrepreneur and proprietor of this lich house. It appears you don't really belong here, but if there is anything I can do, cleric, just let me know. He smiles at you. Yet his eyes say something else. Dimly lit and damp. Did you save my life? He puts down his pen. Your life is your own. You owe me nothing. However, I'm afraid to say you have been through quite the turmoil, cleric. Tell me everything. Of course, it must be confusing. To tell you the truth, some fishermen brought you here last night. They caught you in their net, took you for a corpse. Not that I blame them, you weren't exactly in prime condition. How did I end up in a river? Not a river, the river. I'm afraid I don't have much to tell. Perhaps you fell off one of the bridges to Tolstad. There are 7 bridges over River Torna connecting Tolstad to the rest of the city. Perhaps there is an esoteric explanation for all of this. Perhaps you would know, cleric. Who are these fishermen? River guilders, I believe. They did not look like poachers, so my guess would be them. Find them. They hold the truth. Where can I find these fishermen? He ponders your question. I did not ask their names, sorry to say. Perhaps Waterlane? It's just a guess. Okay. Trade port. Interesting. Either that or a local tavern. I hope you find them. So I am, in fact, alive. The pale man stops for a moment. He looks you up and down. Yes, I believe you are. I have some other questions. I require assistance with some things. Of course, cleric. Anything for the city. You called me cleric. I did, yes. What gave it away? He stops for a second and glares at you. The facade drops for but a moment. A heavily armored man in Earthguard colors, the prayer book on his hip. Thoughts land on the pages of spells you've meticulously worked on for years, despite the fact that I only have one spell, plus one I found in a pile of apples. The book is not in your possession right now, but it must be near if the Pale Man had seen you with it. They might have found you in the river, but you're clearly of city stock. Could be happenstance. Could it? Happenstance? Perchance. He puts down his pen and stares at you. How's that head of yours, cleric? I think I've been reborn. Ooh, sounds like a religious experience. It was. I am the cleric. Good for you. Though I'd love to ask, what type of cleric are you? Type? Yes, if you're a clergyman, you run a congregation for a local religion or deity. Then there are clerics of the bureaucratic variety, city officials speaking for the religious state. You, however, must be an arcane cleric. You are correct. I am an arcane cleric. I figured as much when I saw your spell book. Or do you call it a prayer book? Either way, you clearly played Jor's strings as much as you channeled this divinity. I don't know where to go. Your shaky voice makes you sound possibly fortivlad, complete and utter despair of flesh and bone. I don't mean to tell you what to do, cleric, but there's a certain rumor that our local goblin chieftain is waiting for you. Goblin, short and green, claws and fangs, considered somewhat civilized. Goblin chieftain? Lady Miska Sageleaf is her name. She is down in the Goblin Garden. Of course you've heard of her. Lady Sageleaf is quite famous. The Dragon of Tolstad. The goblins live in a garden? Well, not quite. You'll see when you get there. Lady Sageleaf is a powerful ally. Wait, this is part of the job? Talking with some petty goblin queen? What do you know about spellcasting? Quite a bit. Can you teach me magic? So they don't have the time for a proper lecture after the election. His tutelage holds great evil. Browse my collection, and of course, here. A copy of Charm Person. It will surely be useful to you. A truly diabolical spell. The towers teach it only to higher tier spellcasters usually, despite its first level. That's a great shortcut to charming people, although you gotta be careful with the fallout. If you care about such things. Oh, I mean, of course. Memorize your spells during prayer. Okay. More shrines. Get more spells. 2 ways. Drafting pages out of palace archives. Don't believe you have time for either of those, so suggest another route. Spell scrolls. Right, scrolls with spells on them. Sure, thanks. If you want to practice, feel free to cast anything non-lethal on my servant Ost. Treating a servant like that is despicable. I don't want to do that. In fact, it sounds quite awful. Fair enough, just remember that spells are terribly useful when applied properly. That's all the help I needed. There's a zombie in your basement. Oh, how quaint. Sure, why is it there? We're connected with the city below. The undead seemingly wander as they please. City below the city. Monsters and stuff. Also riches if you dive deep enough. His expression actually changed. Don't trust his words. However, I will take this up with Lady Sageleaf. I pay good crowns for HWBT protection. Halfway Bridge Tribe. Oh, so it's all misunderstandings then. Good. Kept moving apples. Fascinating behavior. Great to have that cleared up. I have some other questions. DC 31. I don't think that's going to be good for me. Before you do, make sure you collect all your belongings. He gives you a quick inspection with his dead eyes. Too quick, like he's trying not to show his interest. Weird. What belongings? Quite a lot. Your uniform, your cloak, and also a voting card? Peculiar voting card. Every party had been marked on it. I'm assuming it's yours. Sorry, I'm indecisive. Ost, leave the surviving pages of your spellbook to dry over there, he says and points across the chamber. Then he looks over the corner of his desk where you took the pocket watch. Good, the esoteric pocket watch is very useful, cleric. Make sure to keep it close. Esoteric pocket, an area overtaken by esoteric magic. Exceedingly rare along the coast. The further inland you get, the more common they are, with the infinite waste being theoretically filled with nothing but. Esoteric magic, name for naturally occurring magic, caused by shape and form of Jor's realm, sometimes called wild magic or Jor's discord. Oh my god, okay. Listen, as somebody who loves a fucking glossary and an appendix, and sometimes has even been known to read those for fun, all of this text dump is eating my brain alive. It is not a good way to deliver all of this information. Most of this is not pertinent. And yes, I could not click on those things, but determining what is actually important to click on and understand what isn't should not be the responsibility of the player, frankly. Like, it's one thing when there's two different forms of information. Like, I don't know why the first thing I thought of was Mass Effect, but I did. Mass Effect 1 had an enormous compendium of information you could read into if you wanted to, but most people didn't. They just played the game. And you could read it at your discretion. This, when it's all woven directly into the text, I'm going to spend ages if I want to, you know, if every discussion is like this, it's like 60% just reference material talking about the world in a way that is not pertinent to the current conversation. This is not a good way to deliver lore or world building. Sometimes less is more. And as somebody who talks about how you should write things that nobody will ever read, this appears to have taken the opposite approach, which is we're going to write a whole lot of information about the world, and then we're going to make you read all of it, or at least offer it all to you. And it's not just that's the thing. It's not just a, well, don't read it if you don't want to. I mean, the rest of the game feels a bit unapproachable if you don't click on these things. I mean, yes, I could have taken the approach of, I woke up downstairs, I walked upstairs, I asked the guy which way to go, and then I walked out. And that would have taken me about 5 minutes. But the rest of all of this feels like it's still largely pertinent and important for me to not, immediately die or cause a political shitstorm or something. Do I have any weapons? None. I'm afraid they must be at the bottom of the river Torna. You do not need arms, you need heart. Unnatural. If only every government employee was as devoted as you, cleric. He gives you a stern expression. Good luck on your quest. His words burn a hole in your heart. Leave now. You may move faster by running. To do so, double click or hold shift or the left trigger. Okay. Jor left his mark across the bands tonight. Today it is a universal sign of magic. The red eye of Earth. Okay. Where's my book? Oh, it's over here. Or not. The book is ruined. Most of the pages, while dry now, have been completely drenched. Only a few pages of the soggy, bracken-ish papyrus pages are readable. They appear to contain some type of undecipherable symbols. Ascani writing of the most basic kind. Wait, oh no. Someone has attempted to dry this to the best of their ability. No. By Earth. This is your prayer book. So many hours wasted. You would have to rebind the whole thing. It is ruined. That'd be expensive. Let's get your hands on a new one instead. Find handwritten letters. Do not understand the language. Anyone who uses this term for any modern anti-free strider lives under a rock. Try to read it. No. You have no idea what this means. Need to get my hand on comprehend languages. Right, that is a spell you used to keep prepared all the time. Find a spell scroll. Maybe you could buy it somewhere. It's fairly common. Hand scribble in the corner. My belief lay in the collect humanity. This is a handwritten message from the second patriarch himself? You feel faint. Are you even able to hold such an artifact? Fascinating to think the pale man held such a treasure on his shelf. Read the foreword. Lord, this is a lot of text. I am reading all of this. But my throat is giving out, so... And I'm trying not to make this a 3-hour video. That's a long-ass forward. Yeah, I'll say so. Yeah, it's like 5 pages. Old man likes to ramble. This is a really great book. So at a DC 16, I could have what? Pocketed it? You really want the book. One day it could be yours. This is very confusing. I'm just putting back the book. Yeah, there's some issues of stealing going on here. Just ignore it. Okay, so we can read all of these. Oh my god. Grandiose statements. His only merit, then if it is only merit, he should not have needed any of those fancy private studies or lecturers. You know, the unique personalities of each of my stats as they talk to me really makes me wish that this was not so framed upon D&D. Like, this goes beyond just, you know, the usual stats. I get that it's still using those for rolling and stuff, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe not have the stats be the thing talking to me then. Maybe it's like the different gods or something. I'm not a wizard. Oh my god. It's good that I can read fast, apparently. This is way too much reading. Yeah. Good thing I only do it in a few minutes, but why would you open a book then? I think the coast was filled with these beasts of Jor at one point. Wonderful little tale, okay. Here's the thing, like, these are not fun. They're fine and all. But it's like, is all of this just for flavor? Is this XP that I'm getting a meaningful amount? You know, am I actually serving my purpose? Because comparatively speaking, this doesn't seem like it's, you know, I was thinking about a more of an open world RPG, something like a Skyrim or something like that, where it's like, yeah, I would go in a game like Elder Scrolls, or something more similar. You'd go wander around and just go rifle through the books in somebody's shop for a while. Something about the way all of this is framed makes it feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. Like I should be more dedicated, focused to a certain objective or something, and that maybe this is all a waste of time. It's also just not compelling enough as world building, just because the world building is so inconsistent. I'm learning like the minutia of the political history, but I barely know where I am. I don't know I haven't seen a map. I don't know how big the city is. I don't know like the races that live here, or the conflicts between individuals or groups or anything else, although I have vague hints of them. It's a lot. Human no cause trouble. Strange rocks. Why is it dexterity to understand this one instead of intelligence? Level 9 rogue, quite hostile. Interesting. Wiggling his little clawed feet, the kobold follows your every move with cold, unflinching yellow eyes. Masters say you behave. I have some questions for you. Short question, go. You are a kobold. Not question. Next. Oh fuck yeah, that's not a question. Quick, save it. Try to save the question. Uh-oh. Heh. You bite your tongue. Taste of blood fills your mouth. The pain changes your brain chemistry for a moment, leaving your mind in shambles. Oh no, hurry, save the situation. Say something, anything. Oh god, it happened again. The kobold stares at you. Savor the taste. Blood starts to drip down your chin. Try to tell him that you've injured yourself. As you open your mouth, a stream of fresh blood comes pouring down the bottom of your helmet. Cleric is... What is... Kobold mutters. He is baffled. Your actions have truly made a mark upon his dark soul. Your inexplicably perceivable bloody smile is sure to cause havoc. The kobold stares at you. You wipe the remaining blood off. There's a limited supply of that, just so you know. Can I borrow your crossbow? Human is kidding? Not funny. You would make greater use of it than this puny creature. Just take it. For whatever reason, he must have been ordered not to hurt you. Don't push it. Kobold starts to go away. Don't let this slide. Just take the crossbow. I don't think I'm going to do that. He's level 9. Where were you when the tea shop incident occurred? Incident? Tea shop blow up. Boom. Big boom? Big boom. When it happened, I was on Waterlane, on mission. What were you doing on Waterlane? Milk. Doing milk? Deliver. You deliver milk? Yes. Side hustle. I love that. That's so charming. This kobold just keeps getting better and better. I agree, Dexterity. I want to know a lot less. Ask questions about the milk. The kobold stares at you. Where does the milk come from? Cows? Where do you get the cow milk? Market. Who buys the milk? Humans. Do kobolds produce milk? No. Do you like milk? No. I also don't like milk. You smirk, confident laugh escaping your lips. You then turn towards the ceiling, smiling. I also don't like milk. Your comment has made a dent upon the world. Somehow I don't think that's entirely true. I don't have anything else to ask about milk. Okay. Should totally find out more about this. Could be a big money maker. How'd you get this gig? Not a gig. I am devoted servant for master. With a side hustle. Okay. Got it. Thank you for your time, kobold. Let's get out of here. Voices upstairs and the smell of salt. Okay. Well, this is interesting. Okay. This video has already become quite long. I could have sped through this in a different route to see more of it, but like, I think this is important to get an impression of like the full depth and breadth of a game. I am still really interested by this game. I could approach it in a different way and it would probably be less frustrating in its delivery. I may end up confused as a result. I think that this is a weird balance between exposition and lore learning versus, you know, what's actually required to understand the world and get through it. I have some criticisms of the way it's doing its delivery, and honestly, if all the things it's telling me are not actually things that will be relevant for me to know later, then I would kind of prefer the game do more with less text. Or, you know, put it into a glossary. The reason why a big reason why I keep doing is because it's like, it's taunting me with XP all the time, right? It's saying like, oh, here's 5 XP because you went through this dialogue, which I'm guessing it's just doing because it's like any certain amount of time I spend on something, it wants to give me a little XP so that I don't actually accidentally sort of to completely screw myself over by spending too much time reading and not enough time doing. But I'm not sure that's the best way to deliver any of this. Still curious though. I may play more of this. I probably won't play more of this immediately. Well, I don't know. We'll see if the demo keeps available, but if you see this episode and you got to the end and you want to see more of it, I can look at continuing the demo or purchasing it if that's of enough interest, but that'll be depending on people's expressed interest. That was a very large bird shadow. But yeah, if you've got your personal thoughts or want to try this out for yourself, it's available. Well, it's probably not available when I put this up, but anyway, yeah. Curious your perspective on the sheer amount of text here and the manner of its delivery, and whether you think that's a good process or just one that should be optional. Yeah. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble on it. This is a weird game that I kind of like, but I'm kind of confused by, and I'll be curious to see how it turns out once it gets a final release. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you for something else next time.